Good morning, everybody. Mr. Foley here. So I thought I'd put out a little video just kind of showing you what our first part of the government unit will look like. So you have an idea on that. We are about 3/4 way through this unit. We'll be having a quiz on it next week. Let me look what I have. I believe Tuesday, September 14th. And so I'll show you what we've been working with. Some of the assignments that we've turned in already. One we'll be working on for Friday. And then ways, if you want to, you can help your student prepare for that quiz on Tuesday. So our government unit has multiple parts to it. We kind of break it up into different sections. Our first section is on really the basics, branches of government, how it's split between, federal level, state level, local level, different types of governments in the world, and then current leaders within our US government, whether that be at the state or national level. So I will share my screen and give you a view of what kids have been working on and what they'll be working on in the future. Okay, so like I've said before, everything runs through Google Classroom. Daily, students, if they're gone, can look at the slide deck for instructions on what they're doing. So that's always available. We are finishing up with Government 1 basic section right here. And so the notes for the unit can be found right here. They also have a paper copy of the notes. They can find answers to fill in the notes if they're gone from these YouTube videos, video lectures I have, or the Google Slides here. And that's kind of been the background information goes within the notes. They have that to study from. Our 3 assignments we've worked on, the first one is the positive and negative government types. And so in the notes, I'll show you here, we talked about, let me get up to it, the different types of governments and how they operate in different ways. So then they had to fill in a chart talking about what's positive and negative about each type of government. What are the advantages and disadvantages? And then I graded them on the bottom part. Which government do you feel is best? And give me 3 reasons why. Which one do you think is most dangerous? And then a tougher question at the bottom here about fears of communism in the United States, why that might be. Mainly to see if they could give me a shot. I told them, if you give me a try, I'll give you a point, and then we'll talk about it in class for that. So that was the first assignment from earlier this week. Our second assignment focused on distribution of power. So we have a federal government where we have national, state, and local, but other countries like the United Kingdom have a unitary government that only has a national government. Or we used to have, before the United States was formed under the Constitution, a confederacy where states had more power. So our second assignment was the remaking the US worksheet. And for this, it was pretty straightforward. I worked a lot in class with them, so they had a lot of class time to work on this one. Basically, if the United States had each of these types of governments, what would it look like? And obviously we have a federal, so they'd have national, state, and local government. And they'd have to tell me that the unitary government was different because you only have a national government, so on and so forth. And then students give me which one they feel is the best and why. So this one was due on the 8th, which was yesterday. And you can check on Infinite Campus. Grades are updated on that one. The third assignment that will be due on Friday, which I won't grade, we'll talk about it together, focuses on the branches of government. So we move into our notes next to look at different beliefs in the preamble for what our government needs to protect. And then we get into other basics. And so we go down to the branches, talk about what they do, go over examples in class, things like that. So for the worksheet, students need to talk about this situation. If a bill is introduced to Congress that would make the legal age to own guns 21 for all Americans, if that were to happen, what would be the responsibility for each branch with that? What would they have to look at? Not sure why it says you're welcome right there, but and then why do you think these powers are split between 3 different groups? Now, each of these worksheets really fits in with topics that we're going to discuss that are part of their quiz and then later on part of their larger test. So the quiz is going to be next Tuesday. Basically, if they know the information on this notes packet here, they're in good shape. But I do have resources too. So if you want to help your student prep, there's these government and state quiz prep materials. You have a Quizlet that they can study from. There is this fill in the blank sheet here with different elements of government and people, and they can try to fill that in correctly. And then I do provide the answer sheet here for them to check as well. So reviewing the notes, looking over their worksheets, and working with these materials will get them prepped for that first quiz on Tuesday of next week. So that's how this first section works. After that, I think probably starting Monday, we'll be beginning our next section. We'll really look at the beginnings of our government and the formation of the Declaration, the Constitution, and why the Articles of Confederation failed. So if you have any questions, concerns, let me know. Grades should be updated on Google Classroom. Infinite Campus. I'm really trying to do that each day so you have a good feel for where your student's at. Hope you have a good week, and we'll see you again soon.